Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bedroom temptation of Chad and Stephanie, fire guilt and Everett issues bring former partners together? According to teasers for Days of Our Lives, Stephanie Johnson will need someone to support her after all of the Bobby Stein, alias Everett Lynch, mayhem. Stephanie could really need some comfort right now because she's struggling with a lot. After giving Chad DiMera an update on the evidence from his previous life, Everett will declare that he has no memory of Jada Hunter or anything else related to becoming Bobby. Everett will find it frustrating since he doesn't feel connected to all the awful things Jada remembers him doing. Since Bobby was already married when Everett started seeing Stephanie, in this case, Stephanie is his mistress. Days teasers indicate that Stephanie will allow Chad comfort her throughout the week of February 26 to March 1, as it will still be a difficult pill for her to swallow. In the middle of all this, might Stephanie and Chad become tempted? Given how much they still care about one another and are still on good terms, it wouldn't be all that shocking. Considering that he holds himself responsible for the fire and all the associated risks, Chad is going through significant personal difficulties. Days teasers hint that conflict may arise because Chad and Stephanie are both feeling vulnerable. It's possible that Stephanie is harboring slights of retaliation against Everett for making her the other woman. Fans of DOL are aware that Everett is unable of recalling doing it, although Stephanie may still harbor some animosity toward him. Perhaps the combination of all these elements will produce some intense urge. Days teasers suggest that Stephanie and Chad will have some intimate time together, which may lead to a kiss as they get back together. After that, Chad and Stephanie might feel like getting intimate in the bedroom. Even though Stephanie and Chad might not give in to the temptation, they could at least give it some thought. It's easy to see a wide-eyed Leo Stark watching anything that makes him think Chad and Stephanie did the deed, even if one of them ultimately pumps the brakes. Leo would be startled if he saw Stephanie with Chad after he had already seen her slip out of Harris Michaels and Everett's rooms. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Chad and Stephanie might become entangled in complex new emotions as well as some old ones, so keep an eye out for any potentially explosive developments. Reliving the past and awakening, panic ensues. As the week in Salem begins, the Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, February 26, 2024, point to some significant story turns. Someone experiences an awakening, someone else revisits his past, and someone in a dangerous circumstance begins to feel panicked. What kind of drama is scheduled to air on Monday? It's time to get started. Good news! According to Monday, February 26 spoilers for Days, Steve Burton's character Harris Michaels will awaken from his coma. But more hints indicate that Rafe Hernandez would question him right away as he arrives. It appears that while some may be delighted that Harris has woken up, others will likely be concerned about what he remembers and tells Rafe. Will Stephen DiMera be among those people trembling with fear? It will be up to the fans to find out. In a different part of town, Monday, February 26 DOL teasers indicate that Everett Lynch and Marlena Evans will meet to discuss his background. Stephanie Johnson will be in and around the neighborhood when he does, according to other teases. Regarding the Bobby predicament, is Everett telling the truth or does he simply not remember his previous relationship with Jada Hunter? Wendy Shin experiences panic. Finally, the teasers for Monday's episode of Days suggest that Wendy Shin may experience a panic attack while being detained. Fortunately, Trip Johnson is there to support her during this difficult time. Even if Wendy and Trip are together in this ordeal, it would be difficult to remain calm at this point in their incarceration. Will Stephen Nichols' character, Steve Johnson, discover them in time? Will the terror caused by Clyde Weston ever end? Leading men from Days of Our Lives dare to be bare for Playgirl. Editors have independently selected all of the goods and services that are listed. On the other hand, Soaps.com might get paid a commission for orders made through its retail links, and the retailer might get some data that can be audited for bookkeeping purposes. This could be the perfect match after all. Or Salem, at the very least. After all, towels are essentially considered formal clothing, and shirts aren't always in plentiful supply in that legendary city. Therefore, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to hear that the Days of Our Lives men have joined Playgirl for an extremely graphic picture session. The legendary magazine, which is currently only available online after ceasing print publication for the second time in 2016, announced the news on Instagram and tagged photographer Katie Levine alongside none other than Alex, Robert Scott Wilson. However, based on the account tagging Paul Telfer, Xander, Eric Martsolf, Brady, Brian DeTillo, Lucas, and Christopher Sean, ex-Paul, it appears that he isn't the only one exposing some skin for the crossover. Sean expressed his gratitude to the Playgirl staff for having him, and Sarah's character Lindsay Godfrey simply replied with a series of fiery emojis. However, since Xander and Sarah have had numerous scenes, and given his tendency to lose things, this is probably old stuff for her. "This is the end of nothing," Wilson answered. "If by nothing he means clothing, then this ought to be a lot of fun." That being said, don't anticipate the guys going full Monty. Playgirl has always included celebrities, particularly during the day when actors like Steve Burton, Harris, Austin Pack, the former Austin, and John J. York, Mac, from General Hospital have all made cameos. However, not many received the full Burt Reynolds in Cosmo treatment. We can fairly safely assume that we'll get some titillating images out of this, though, as guys in the daylight are no strangers to baring their skin. Perhaps Days of Our Lives will attract new viewers as well. We would absolutely classify that as a win/win. It appears that the images for this unique Salem spread will be released in the spring, however we don't yet know the precise date. Paulina recovered from her operation with Chanel, Abe, Johnny, and their support. Kayla found out that Tripp had not returned her texts and had not shown up for his shift at the hospital. Maggie even gave Constantine permission to kiss her during their Valentine's Day date night. Constantine called someone inexplicably. Jada confronted Everett about being Bobby, her ex, leaving Rafe and Stephanie a bit taken aback. After Ava heard Stefan caution her not to tempt Clyde's fury, she discovered Tripp was gone. Alex was not pleased when Teresa packed up and departed after he had declined to propose and messed up when he tried. Brady confided in Marlena, Deidre Hall, telling her that he felt as though he was in danger and that she ought to be concerned for him. Before they left to visit Tate, Teresa showed up looking for somewhere to spend the night. Marlena sneaked out to see how Alex was doing. Sloane brought up Eric with Melinda. Roman treated Kate to a surprise private meal at the bistro at the pub. A youthful Tom and Alice are shown to us having a picnic in front of the house they watch being constructed and later become able to purchase as their family develops. This is demonstrated while staying in the present, with Julie, Maggie, and Doug Bill Hayes, to whom the episode is dedicated, hanging out at the burned-down Horton house. As friends and family share memories, Roman, Kate, John, and Marlena join them. They offer encouragement and bring Alice's donuts. Along with an Alice's chair, the Horton decorations are discovered undamaged. Leo asks Julie about the background of Salem's aristocracy, and they agree to let him write about it, as long as Chad provides his final clearance. In addition, an old box was unintentionally found.